Okay, now let's take a quick look at some logic flow. In other words, if conditions. Certain situations arise when we have dynamic elements on a page such as this. Bear in mind that this value that's inside of our show message parameter here could be dynamic. It could be a variable from some other area within our document. If we can attach things to this script file, then other things could be going on inside the page. Not to mention the server environment, we can be doing things dynamic before this code's actually sent down to the browser in the first place. So let's take and cut this piece of code out of here. Let's cut out the parameter on the homepage.html from the show message function call and do a quick save here. Let's open up our browser and go back to the home page, and notice that if I click the link now, we get this undefined. Well, I don't want that to happen. So if a parameter wasn't passed into that function, I don't really care to show the alert box in the first place. So what I need to do is actually encompass the function, which, let's pull open our JavaScript file here. We want to encompass the function, which is this piece here, inside of an if condition. So I can nest this inside of something called an if statement that will only call the alert if the message received a value. And if the message has something, then it returns the value of true. And if it doesn't have something, it'll return the value of false if I do a check against an if. So what I can do is create a line here. Let's go up and tab over. Let's do an if, and in parentheses, I'll type in message. Then is a curly brace like this. And I can create an if block. Go ahead and do that. And I'll go ahead and tab out here using my tab key to get that nice and blocked up. Then what I want to do is take this and cut it from here and actually paste it right here. So now inside the if condition, if message, if there is something in message basically, then alert with message, else do nothing. And there's no else statement here. I could have an else in here and then have it do something else, or I could say alert no message was provided or something like that. But in this case, I don't want it to show anything. I don't want it to alert anyone. So let me go and do a quick save here. And now let's go back to our page and click back to home page. We'll get an alert. And now on the home page, if I click this link, it just goes straight to the second page.html because we know that in our home page code, no parameter was passed. So we might have this code set up in all of our links in our website. And of course, we wouldn't have something as annoying as an alert box, but something may be occurring each time someone clicks a link. Perhaps calling an AJAX function or something like that. So there's a lot of things we could do with this. The point is that understanding that JavaScript allows for functionality within the browser. Now in the next section, we've stepped into if conditions here, just as a brief sidestep to kind of show some programmatic logic. If something's true, then do something else. And there's more to learn about JavaScript, clearly. But we now have a final understanding of what it does and its implementation inside web pages, which is commonly done with JS files, such as the jQuery library. I mean, these are called libraries generally. If we go to jQuery.com and download the jQuery library, there's some functionality within it with methods and properties. And if I implement it into my web page, I can call up into its functions and do things. It gets into a really extremely advanced area there, but you now have a foundation to work with. So in the last section of JavaScript, we're going to take this and bring everything together. We're going to take all three languages, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and we're going to combine it into an effort of basically setting up to where we can display and hide our header area. So we're going to use that ID header right there to do some work. But we're going to also have to create another div tag that would show something else, for example, up underneath it perhaps. So we'll get into some different configurations to kind of hammer home some of the cool things we can do with JavaScript, accessing the cascading style sheets properties through JavaScript, as well as modifying and affecting the way things look on the page.